Let's see how you do under pressure. I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Fuck with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip to the islands. We up on the jet, we'll do more than just fly on it. Stand on that hill, you gon' die on it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is March 15th, 2025, the year of our Lord, the year of the snake.
That's right. That's the Jake the Snake. Yeah, that's right.
Jake.
I have another fact today. So, back in 2005, I went to the highlight reel with Chris Jericho, and I told Randy to take his mouth towards his brain because he was talking out of his ass. And then he didn't like it, so I had to show him 12 feet of impact. But before I could show him that, he gave me an RKO.
My God. Everybody, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. This is our first time being live on Instagram as a team. We got one of our members that is currently facing technical difficulties. He asked us to start. He'll be joining us here in a few minutes. But anyways, my name is Sean. On Instagram, I am the Sober Shaman Sean. It's a tongue twister. And on TikTok or whatever. We're not going to hit TikTok up. We're not going to do that. But we got JR to my left, resident of Toronto, Canada. And yes, we are here to talk wrestling. It's not just the year of the snake, it's the year of retirement. So we got potential John Cena retirement. I said this last week, I have a feeling he may not retire. I feel like it's a ruse. I feel like, especially with recent events that have happened, I feel like it is a ruse. How do you feel about that, JR?
We shall see, man. We shall see.
We shall see.
Running with it. We're running with it.
And potential retirement for good old Double J. Jeff Jarrett. Jarrett. Yeah. Jarrett in French.
Jarrett.
If you
Well, then, yeah. All right.
Old Hefe Jarrett. Old Hefe Jarrett. But
and the year of title changes apparently so far.
Yeah, the year of title changes. Dude, it is a big year in wrestling. The year of heel turns.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely insane. But before we get into it, JR, how has your week been?
Looks good. It's getting to spring weather here finally, here in Toronto. So we're doing not too bad here. Work was steady for the most part this week. Not too many issues, to be honest, but steady week here. And the wrestling was good this week. Very, very good, as always, especially this past Monday. And of course, NXT was good too. And then Smackdown yesterday was a solid show there from Europe. Crowd, as expected, was awesome. But doing all right. Condo is steady. And I'll be switching in between parents' house and my condo for the next, basically, for the foreseeable future, just so that they know I'm okay.
Absolutely. And that's awesome, man. My week has been all right, man. I was a little bit busy. I got some things done I needed to get done. Kyle, my nephew Kyle, says it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Kyle. Happy birthday, Kyle. Happy birthday to you. I hope to see him in the summertime. Come and hang out. It's always good to see Kyle. But my week has been good. My week has been great. Just been hanging out. Got some things done. I had to get done desperately. I closed a book on one of the chapters of my life. And so here is to new chapters in our life and closing old ones out. And my life Yeah, Kyle's turned 17 today, so that's awesome. It's awesome.
Fantastic.
But I played a lot of 2K25. We'll talk about that on the end of the show.
All right.
And you're
Yeet.
god dang technology. What's going on, Ryan? What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Yep. Yeah, wrestling has been exciting this weekend. Before we dive into the events of Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, because NXT was big this week,
It was.
we are going to talk about today in wrestling history. So go ahead, JR, and show us what you got.
Absolutely. But before we do that, actually, you know what? We'll wait till Chris comes pop the top as usual.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it because it's a tradition. We got a tradition around here.
Yep.
We like to do at the beginning of the show. We pop the top on whatever drink we got. So I'm drinking an Alani. We are not sponsored. It's an Alani Mini. It's cherry slush. Not my favorite flavor, but a good flavor nonetheless. JR, what you drinking on?
We got we still have some coffee from McDonald's from this morning. There, I went to the gym this morning, so got myself some coffee after to kind of, and then had my lunch there, and also got sugar. Got some Gatorade Zero, a fruit punch flavor this time. So yeah.
Chris said, "Well, fuck."
Wow.
You snooze, you lose. I love you, man. Technology is a bitch. But yep, here's to you.
Cheers,
and
cheers.
Chris, when you join it, we'll pop the top when he jumps on. But
all right.
Speaking of working out, I've been doing yoga. I started doing yoga, and Ryan says, "Cheers, Chris." I've been doing yoga. My buddy does yoga. That's hanging out with us. He does yoga, and so him and I do a session of Steven Richards Fitness.
Nice.
Yes, and it's less intense than DDP's yoga. Still the same regiment, but it is very good. And I tell you, I put together 3 8-foot garden boxes, and I was sore as a motherfucker Monday, and then coming into Tuesday, and like I tell you, that yoga, stretching out and just doing those workouts helped me out so much. By Wednesday, I was not sore anymore, so it was awesome.
Yeah, DDP yoga. I used to do, well, I still do DDP yoga every now and then, but I remember one time I had a very serious back injury, and literally DDP yoga saved me from suffering more pain. And yeah, Stevie Richards, DDP, saviors, man. They definitely saviors. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm so happy I found it. So go ahead, bring us in.
All right, let's go. All right, we're gonna go to March 13th. They flipped the long way. We're gonna go to March 13th. Sorry, March 15th. Sorry, this should be March 15th. My mistake here. Wait, that's not March 13th. Whoops. I'll have to do this.
Oh no!
In wrestling,
Chris, I don't eat my corn the long way.
All right, so you know what? Since we have it, might as well present it anyways.
Let's do it.
Why not? Yeah. All right, sure. So we have Bobby the Brain Heenan, classic. Rest in peace, my man. But we're going to start in 1995. Monday Night Raw came from Stockton, California, with live and taped editions of the show in the build to WrestleMania 11. On the live edition, Jacob and Eli Blue fought the Head Shrinkers to a countout draw, and Jerry Lawler defeated Bret Hart in the main event by countout due to outside interference from the WWF Women's Champion Bull Nakano. What?
Wow.
Weird, but anyways. On the taped editions, the Smoking Guns retained the WWF Tag Team titles against the Heavenly Bodies, and former Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers superstar Steve Mongo McMichael brawled with Kama the Supreme Fighting Machine, aka the Godfather, from the $1 Million Corporation, building towards the upcoming match between Lawrence Taylor and Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 11. And also, Bret Hart defeated Owen Hart in a no holds barred match. And also salute to Steve Mongo. I know you are, prayers are out to you, man, because I know ALS is a tough bitch, man. You know, you're toughing it out there, and we're just hoping that you continue to have a good life. We're continuing to, be with us here always. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. 2000, The Rock defeated The Big Show to regain his WWF title match opportunity on WWF Raw from East Rutherford, New Jersey. After putting his career on the line as the stipulation, he was assisted by the returning Vince McMahon, who had not been seen on television for 3 months. Also, Dean Malenko defeated S.A. Rios for the WWF Light Heavyweight title. And in this edition of Raw was also infamous for Bubba Ray Dudley delivering a powerbomb to Mae Young through a table off the top of the entrance ramp. And look who's here! What's up?
Oh, hello!
Yeah.
Say his name and he appears.
Yeah, that's right.
I believe
yes.
it's Joe Hendry.
That's right. Indeed. But yes, Bubba Ray Dudley did the powerbomb to Mae Young, and Jim Ross had that famous line, and that son of a bitch is back in that trance. Oh my goodness, yeah. But
Ryan says, "Hey, Chris."
hey,
Here?
Chris, all right, and let's see here, 2001. You know what? Since you're here, Chris, now we can pop the top again. So, what you drinking today?
I'm drinking a Nas. Switching
Nas.
up today.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Happy
boys.
Saturday. All right. 2001, on the Sunday Night Heat and Smackdown tapings in Anaheim, California, Crash Holly defeated Dean Malenko for the WWF Light Heavyweight title. Also, the Dudley Boys defeated Chris Jericho in a handicap tables match, and Stone Cold Steve Austin pinned Kurt Angle. Right. 2003, AJ Styles and the Amazing Red defeated Christopher Daniels and Xavier for the ROH World Tag Team titles in the main event of ROH Expect the Unexpected from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Okay, so that's the name of this. 2004, at ROH at Our Best in Elizabeth, New Jersey, Samoa Joe retained the ROH Heavyweight title against Jay Briscoe in a steel cage match. Also, AJ Styles defeated CM Punk to retain the ROH Pure Wrestling title with Ricky Steamboat as the guest referee.
I remember that.
What's up, Mama?
Same year, WWE held their first Hall of Fame ceremony since 1996 at the Hilton Hotel in New York City the night before WrestleMania 20. The induction class included Bobby the Brain Heenan, Jesse Ventura from the Baja, Big John Studd, Don Morocco, Harley Race, Tito Santana, Arriba, Superstar Billy Graham, The Junkyard Dog, Sergeant Slaughter, Maggot, Greg Valentine, and Pete Rose, who was the first ever celebrity induction. Rest in peace.
Speaking of Pete Rose, did
you
hear that he got pardoned?
Did he?
He got pardoned, yeah.
All right, there you go. So now he can finally go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well, we hope so, but yeah.
Go to the Baja.
Go to the Baja. That's right. Yes, that's right. 2005, in the Impact Zone from Orlando at the TNA Destination X pay-per-view, Jeff Jarrett retained the NWA World Heavyweight title against Diamond Dallas Page in a ringside revenge match. Christopher Daniels was victorious over AJ Styles, Elix Skipper, and Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, for the X Division title in an Ultimate X match. Jeff Hardy defeated Abyss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Dustin Rhodes defeated Raven in a bull rope match. And the Outlaw, aka Billy Gunn, I know his name was the Outlaw, believe it or not, which is kind of weird, defeated Kevin Nash in a First Blood match. He deserves Hall of Fame. Yes, for Pete Rose. Did Joe pardon him?
Not Joe.
Okay. 2007, WWE Hall of Famer Arnold Scotland passed away at the age of 82 in White Plains, New York. He was part of the newly created Worldwide Wrestling Federation, which would go on to become the WWF. He managed Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund, both winning the WWF Championship under his guidance. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame as part of the class of '94 in Baltimore, the second King of the Ring pay-per-view.
Won't say his name, but 47.
Daddy Donnie.
Okay. 2009. We talked about this guy a lot over the past few podcasts, but Andrew Martin, who's best known for his time in the WWE as Test, passed away at age 33 in Tampa, Florida. He joined the WWF in 1998 as an unnamed bodyguard for the band Motley Crue, who performed on an edition of Sunday Night Heat. He would become a member of the Corporation faction, interfering in the WWF Championship match between The Rock and Triple H on Raw in late 1998. During his time with the promotion, he won the Intercontinental European Hardcore and the WWF and WCW World Tag Team Championships. He was also involved in a storyline relationship with Stephanie McMahon, whose memorable wedding ceremony was interrupted by Triple H. I do not remember that. Yes. Rest in peace, Test. We miss you, man.
Yeah.
Do you think that he would have become a world champion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
By now, yeah, I think he would have.
Probably like in a Money in the Bank situation, maybe. I don't think they.
I kind of feel like Vince had him DOA with the whole ECW thing because, like, I remember that Elimination Chamber and how terrible it was, and he was one of the competitors.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Let's not remember that. That was that. Let's not. 2011, Sting retained the TNA World Heavyweight title against Jeff Hardy in the main event of TNA Victory Road for the Impact Zone in Orlando. This match was laced with controversy as Hardy was clearly in no condition to perform. Rather than cancel the match or replace Hardy, TNA decided to put Hardy in a ring for a short match. Overwhelming critical reaction followed from all quarters. Yes.
Arguably one of the lowest points in professional wrestling history.
Agreed.
Yeah, I 100% agree on that. Yes.
And the video of the backstage interaction between AJ and Jeff after that really got me.
Was that the one where he's like my son, you're my son's favorite wrestler or something like that?
Yeah,
I don't know. So. It was the one where he said, "You came in here and your actions in the ring destroyed everything I've worked hard for."
Oh right, yeah, I have seen that. Yeah.
Ooh, shit, man, that's tough. That's tough. 2017, former pro wrestler Dennis Stamp died of cancer at the age of 71. Many younger fans will know Stamp best for his role as special referee in Terry Funk's retirement match in '97. Retirement match against Bret Hart that was spotlighted in the Beyond the Mat documentary in 1997.
Oh,
yeah. And 2020.
The man retired like 87 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Ric Flair.
Just like Ric Flair, just like Mick Foley, just like everyone. But anyways, 2020, the first edition of the WWE Smackdown in the Performance Center in Orlando took place as the world entered into COVID protocol. Jeff Hardy returned to action after being away for a year and was victorious over King Corbin. Daniel Bryan pinned Cesaro, and Bayley and Sasha Banks, Monet, whatever her name is, defeated Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Roman Reigns had a sit-down interview with Michael Cole regarding his originally booked Wrestlemania Universal Championship match with Goldberg, and Bray Wyatt confronts John Cena. Remember prior to their Funhouse match. So notable birthdays.
That was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was 5 years ago, brother.
Yeah,
I know. I know. Time flies. Time flies. Birthdays. Let's see whose birthday is on March 13th. One of the Balding Bucks, Matt Jackson, 1985.
Ooh.
Yeah, boo-hoo, yes indeed. Yoshiki Takahashi, 1969. And Tommy Dreamer's wife, Beulah McGillicuddy, 1969.
Whoa. He's married to Beulah?
You didn't know that?
Shut the fuck up. No, he's not.
Oh yeah, man. He's been married to her for a while now.
Landed Beulah McGillicuddy. What the?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Tucky.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he did. All right. Let me get the actual date here, the 15th. But that was the 13th. But now let's get to the actual date today. 15th.
Sick.
All right.
Sick.
Here we are. You got it now. And look who we have. Oh, it's everybody's favorite wrestler. Oh,
Brother.
his favorite sidekick there.
Brother.
Here we go.
Brother.
So March 15th today, 1972 in Japan, Aiko Kyo beat Jean Antoine to become the new WWWA World Single Champion. Don't really know what that brand is, but anyways, like it's significant. In 1976, Mariko, in Japan as well, Mariko Akagi beat Jumbo Miyamoto to become the same champion in 1976.
Those sound like Titan wrestling match game names.
I feel like
Oh,
somebody's throwing change down a staircase figuring out names.
Yeah. I know, right? Oh, here we go again. 1976. Okay, this is different. 1976. Amateur wrestling legend and 8-time NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. What? What is this? Amateur wrestling legend and 8-time NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. Who? This no name.
Let me look.
Okay. Anyways,
Yes.
I'll skip through that one. Next. 1977. Antonio Roca
Who
passed
are
away
you?
at 55. He was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as part of the class of 1995.
Who is it?
His name is Antonino Roca.
Huh.
I don't know. Anyways,
Ooh.
hopefully get something significant here, or notable here. In Japan, 1980,
Jesus.
Monster Ripper beat Jackie Sato to become the world champion, single champion.
Oh my God.
At least we got a normal name. Holy fuck.
You get Jackie, yeah, that seems makes sense here.
Monster
Okay, here we go.
Ripper.
Now we've got something from the actual brand here. 1997, ECW Hostile City Showdown was held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The Dudley Boys, Ray Dudley, and Dee Dudley defeated the Eliminators, Perry Saturn and John Cronus, to become the ECW Tag Team Champions for the very first time. In the main event, Raven defended and retained the ECW World Title in a three-way dance against Stevie Richards and Tommy Dreamer.
I was never really a big fan of Stevie Richards in the ring.
Outside the ring, though, he is a god. As
I enjoyed him in Right to Censor.
yeah, he's funny.
Yeah,
He was
because he wasn't trying to be HBK.
Yeah.
That's true. 1998, WCW Uncensored is held in Mobile, Alabama. On
Why do I
pay-per-view.
not remember that pay-per-view? Like at all.
Which one? Uncensored?
Yeah, no.
Well, here's the card for it. Booker T retained the WCW Television Championship by pinfall against Eddie Guerrero. All right. Juventud Guerrera defeated Conan by pinfall.
Juventud.
Yep. Chris Jericho defeated Dean Malenko by submission to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Lex Luger pinned Scott Steiner.
Wow.
DDP defeated Error 404 and Raven in a triple threat match to retain the United States Championship. That's right. Bang. The Giant defeated Kevin Nash by disqualification after Brian Adams, aka Crush, interferes. Bret Hart defeated Kurt Hennig with his sharpshooter submission. And Sting defeated Scott Hall to retain the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. But in the main event, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage faced off in a steel cage match. The match ends when the Disciple makes his way into the cage to help Hogan. Then Sting comes down for the Raptors to help Savage. However, Savage attacks Sting and exits the cage and is a no contest. Surprise, surprise.
Wow.
That makes zero sense.
No sense at all. 1999, Rey Mysterio defeated Billy Kidman to become the new Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, dude, that match must have been a banger, though.
Of course, Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio, absolutely. Those guys were.
Can we talk about like how savagely underrated Billy Kidman was?
He's legit great, but he's kind of a fumbler because he fumbled Torrie Wilson. If you recall.
Well, not just that, but like he was thrusted into that feud with brother, where it didn't do anything for either one of them.
That's true.
Any feud with brother didn't do anything for anybody but brother.
Brother, exactly. Although I did like his heel run with Paul London there when he did the shooting. He was afraid to do the shooting star press, and then he literally almost killed Paul London with the shooting star press.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up Paul London. I watched the
Yeah.
No Mercy 2007, I think, the other night. It was Paul London and Kendrick with Hardy against Mr. Kennedy and Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch. Bro.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
I forgot how great Trevor Murdoch and Lance Cade looked together. Like, they were incredibly underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet and sour, baby. One of my favorite redneck teams. For sure. Absolutely.
Biscuits are very good.
Same year, Monday Night Raw, it was a good night for the New Age Outlaws. Road Dogg becomes the Intercontinental Champion after pinning Val Venus. And Billy Gunn won the Hardcore Championship from Hardcore Holly.
Mm.
That's right.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You think it would be the other way around, but they wanted to change it around there, so not bad. 2003, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, AJ Styles and Amazing Red defeated Christopher Daniels and Donovan Morgan to become the new ROH Tag Team Champions. They would hold the belts for the next...
How long were they champions together? 45 years? The fuck?
I guess so, yeah. They would hold the belts for the next 175 days before vacating them due to Red being injured. There you go. There's your title right there. Yeah. 2005, former Intercontinental Champion Marty Jannetty wrestled his first singles match on television since August 1998 when he faced Kurt Angle at the Smackdown tapings in Savannah, Georgia.
I remember
Angle made Jannetty submit as part of the build to the Olympic gold medalist match with Shawn Michaels at Wrestlemania. Between this and his tag match on the Raw the night before, Jannetty impressed WWE management enough to offer him a full-time contract. Sadly, he was released 4 months later due to a series of incidents in his personal life. Oh, wow. Speaking of
just a sexy Kurt.
Yeah, speaking of dark side there, man, Marty Jannetty.
That dude went off the rails and then some.
And he's still going down.
Oh, I know. He's still off the rails, yeah.
He is very off the rails there. Yeah. I guess but maybe Bobby Heenan was right too, saying he was a coward. When he jumped through the damn window. 2009. TNA Destination X was held at the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. On the pay-per-view, AJ Styles defeated Booker T for the Legends title, making the Styles the first Grand Slam champion in TNA history. Suicide became the X Division champion after outlasting Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Consequences Creed, and Jay Lethal in an X Division match. Now, for those who didn't know, yeah, I know that's some of your words, man. Yeah, but
what
Suicide, for those who didn't know, that was actually based off the video game that was released that same year for TNA Impact. It was part of the storyline for if you played story mode for that game, and he was actually played by Frankie Kazarian and sometimes Christopher Daniels, depending on who was
Of course, it was one of those two.
And then Austin Aries.
And Austin Aries as well. Yes, he did play that role as well. And in the main event, Kurt Angle retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with Jeff Jarrett as the special referee and Mick Foley as the special enforcer by Sting defeated Kurt Angle to retain the TNA World Heavyweight Championship with Jeff Jarrett as the special referee and Mick Foley as the special enforcer.
What, in the retirement home?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sting. Well, and then Sting lost the title to Mick Foley after that. So I know that was a little bit weird there. CMLL Homenage a dos Leonadas was held in Mexico City in 2013. The main event of the night was a Mask and Hair versus Mask and Hair 2 out of 3 falls tag match. The team of Stuka Jr. betting his mask and Ray Cometa betting his hair defeated Namajake, I hope I pronounced his name right, Mask and Okamura Hair. As a result, Okamura was forced to have his hair cut off, and Namajake made to unmask and reveal his name, Koyosuke Mikami. Okay, cool.
All right.
2015, Noah Great Voyage was held at the Araki Coliseum in Tokyo, Japan. Among other matches we saw, Suzuki Gun, El Desperado, and Taka Michinoku, one of my favorites, defeated Cho Kibu Gun, Hajime Ohara and Kano, and No Mercy, Tetsuke Harada and Genba Hiranagi in a triple threat tag team match to win the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title belts.
All right.
Taichi defeated Atsushi Katoje to win the GHC Junior Heavyweight Championship. Killer Elite Squad, which was Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer, defeated TMDK, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste to retain the GHC Tag Team Championship. Minoru Suzuki became the new GHC Heavyweight Championship after beating Naomichi Marufuji. And that's it. Okay, that's it. Okay, there's your card there. Wow, that was a lot to read there. 2015, at a TNA taping in Orlando, Florida, Kenny King defeated Rockstar Spud, Tigre Uno, and Mandrews in a ladder match for the X Division Championship. Kenny King, if you remember, he was actually a Tough Enough contestant back in the day.
Yep.
In the main event of the ROH 17th anniversary show in Las Vegas, Nevada, Brody King and PCO defeated Jay and Mark Briscoe via pinfall in a tag team street fight to win the ROH World Tag Team titles. 2020, Wrestle One Wrestle Wars is held in Tokyo, Japan. 2 title changes hands on the show with Daiki Inaba and Koji Doi defeating Shotaro Ashino and Yusuke Kamada for the Wrestle for the Wrestle One Tag Team titles. And then Kaz Hayashi, former WCW talent there, beating Katsushiko Nakajima to become the new Wrestle One champion. So fine. All right, there we go. So that's the 15 notable birthdays. We have great MJF 1996.
Ooh.
Whatever. Lobo 1975. Matsuyuki Naruse 1973. And rest in peace to the Iron Sheik Bebe 1943. Hulk Hogan, your son of a bitch.
Break his back, make him humble.
Motherfucker.
And that's your day in wrestling.
You bitch, no good motherfucker.
Yeah, that's right.
Bitch, no good motherfucker. Hulk Hogan.
Sean, you like my name this week?
Death Riders.
That's Wednesday.
Nice. God damn, there was a lot of bowls being thrown down the steps in this week in wrestling history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My God. Anyways, we got Monday Night Raw from
Charlotte,
North Carolina. Our opening match was it? Oh, it was MSG. Why the fuck did I look and it said the Hornets? Jesus Christ! It was from Madison Square Gardens. I stand corrected. Just leave me alone. It's a Saturday afternoon. Anyways, our opening contest was Jey Uso versus Grayson Waller. Really good match.
Yes.
And obviously, you're not going to have your top babyface on Raw go down to Grayson Waller. Really good match. There was some interference by Austin Theory. And yeah. But anyways, after the match, we seen Austin Theory do a beatdown. Jay fought him off, and then Gunther came and choked him out. Pretty straightforward. Next we had what was supposed to be AJ Styles calling out Logan Paul, but it ended up being ass backwards. Logan Paul came out and pretty much and very nice words called AJ a old head, and then was trying to fight Andrew Schultz. Pulled Andrew Schultz in the ring, and AJ came in for the save. Told him to get his ass back here. Our next match was a tornado tag match. Really good match between Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus the New Day. And obviously, we know who won that one. But to lead up to that match, we had Dragon Lee on the outside of the ring. And there would be a masked luchador come out in a red, white, and blue mask. And it said American Made. And he gave, and he also said, Gracias! Yes! Right? And he gave a suplex to Dragon Lee, which in turn ended up putting Ray in the ring, and Ray suffered the New Day's finishing tag team move.
Yeah.
Yep, and New Day picked up the win.
Good.
And by the way, we had Kevin McAllister, Home Alone star, Macaulay Culkin in the crowd with his brother. Look, I'm just going to say the redemption arc for Macaulay Culkin is great.
Facts.
I'm here for it, and it made me all that much more happier to see him in the crowd, healthy.
He's got a good price in Brenda's song there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is a goddess among goddesses. My goodness.
Yes. And so after that, we had a backstage segment with Chad Gable and Kathy Kelly. Kathy Kelly was like, we all know that was you under the mask. And he was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I seen what happened. And it's a shame that another luchador came in and attacked. But that wasn't me. And then in the background, you seen somebody in an American-made mask getting hauled off by the police. So that shit had me rolling.
Yo, shout out to Kathy Kelly though. Those things be thangin'. Respectfully, of course.
Respectfully. Anyways, next we had a Cody promo, and
yes, can we read that fucking promo, dog? Because
do you have that?
Yeah. Hold on.
I have it here. I have it here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna let our resident impersonator read that promo because it was great.
Oh, me? Oh, thank you. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna skip the New York. What do you want to talk about there? So we can talk about why I'm here. I'm here because it's the Cathedral of Entertainment. It's the home base of WWE. It's the center of the universe. It's the Garden. My opponent, John Cena, who I know is going to be at WrestleMania 41, is not here tonight. Apparently, he's told his inner circle, I guess that consists of Travis Scott and the final boss, he's told him that he wasn't going to be here. But he's going to be in Brussels, Belgium next week. I don't know if I like that. I mean, this is the same John Cena who won the U.S. title right here. The same John Cena who came back from having his pec torn off the bone and won the Royal Rumble here in MSG. And he can't be here with us tonight? Apparently, it wasn't an easy decision. It's also an easy decision to swing at someone after you kick them in the nuts and you have backup. I do not begrudge a legend who has earned the right to call his shots. I don't begrudge John Cena for having a part-time schedule because John Cena part-time is better than most people full-time. What I do begrudge, the day after the Elimination Chamber, John Cena goes on social media. Fun things happen when it's live on Netflix, so go on ahead with all that. John Cena is sitting somewhere, let him hear it. What I do begrudge is him going on social media where he took to X and he said, have the discipline. What needs to be done, even if you don't feel like it? What needs to be done? You ever had that teacher you wanted to be challenged by, mentor you accepted their lessons, even though they were almost spiteful and jarring? That coach that stands on the sidelines when you're amidst of the fight, while you're amidst of the game and they're still calling the plays. Thank you. At a certain point, you have to look over and say, John, sit down, you goddamn moron. Best for business, right? Nobody defined best for business more than John Cena, but I don't know. There's almost 17,000 people in the building tonight. I think we know what's best for business. Perhaps the business has changed. I'll tell you. It's always tacky to tout stats in the carnival sport. But here's a stat that will never be. It is simply one man's delusion, one man's fantasy, and that is 17. 17 does not happen, but what does not happen? What does happen is I get the heartbreaking privilege of beating my hero in his last chance. While he finds out what all of you already know. And when he finds out in real time, John, I'm the captain now. New York, God bless and good night. Yes.
This is what happened.
Hail
Hydra. In that promo, Cody hit a Hail Hydra.
Brother, I want to say this about Cody, man. For the longest time, was never sure that he could ever get that intensity past this babyface promos. Because, I love baby faces. I love seeing guys like Cena when he was a face and that is so weird for me to say now. And Cody, when he first won the title or when he first returned, signing autographs and hugging kids, handshaking kids, all that. And the promos just never meet up to par, right? Then you have somebody who, and I said this last night when I was watching the Smackdown, there is nobody, and I will challenge anybody to find one other person to prove me wrong. There is nobody other than John Cena in the entire industry, in the history of the business, that draws emotion like John Cena. Period. The Rock doesn't do it. Austin doesn't do it. Hogan never did it. NWO never did it. And now we're at a point where John Cena is getting booed without being on television.
Yep.
The Rock has to be there for him to start off a heel run. Austin, same thing. All those boos for Cena not being there is fucking insane, especially in MSG where they fucking love that man.
Right. I have a theory of like why Cena did it. Do you guys want to hear it?
Sure.
All right.
Fire it up.
Unbelievable.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Anyways, we had a backstage segment between the Judgment Day and Dom came in. Finn was there, and he said, seeing as you have a problem with Braun Breaker, I went and got a match. And Finn was like, yeah, you deserve it. He's like, no, I got a match for you. All you got to do next week. He's like, all you got to do is go and make it official with Adam Pearce. And so there was the hug, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there.
Hey, they're honoring R-Truth's motto for Judgment Day: live, laugh, love.
Yeah, absolutely.
Funny that you say R-Truth. I really hope when Cena is there Monday, he beats the brakes off of R-Truth.
Oh, he go do it at some point. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Our next match was Raquel versus Bayley for the #1 contendership for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and this match was really fucking good. I have this, in my opinion, this is one of Raquel's best matches that she's put on. Easily. Raquel picked up the dub after a distraction from Liv. Mm-hmm. Next we had an interview with Io Sky and Michael Cole. Io Sky came out and she was talking about how she was happy to be champion, happy to be defending it at WrestleMania. And then Bianca came out, and Bianca was talking, and they were going back and forth. Then Rhea came out, and Rhea interjected herself in it and pretty much asked why Bianca was there. Like, she had no business being there, but she did, because she's the #1 fucking contender. She has to see who she's going up against. And I have a feeling they're pushing Rhea in the heel direction. And they started arguing, shoving each other back and forth. Io was trying to break them up and was like, hey, look, guys, let's not do this. Mm-hmm. And they kept shoving her away, shoving her by the face, knocking her down. Finally, she was like, bitch, I am the champion. Smacked the dog shit out of both of them. And yeah, dude, she smacked the shit out of Rhea, smacked the shit out of Bianca. I laughed as hard as I could and stormed off. And she said, I am the champion.
And she got 18,000 screaming EEO.
Yeah, that was a good way. And like, we on this podcast, we talk about how much we adore Io and how we feel like she's been undermined in this whole equation. And even when it comes to Rhea Ripley. And so it was good to see her stand her ground and be like, motherfucker, I'm the champion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You got to go through me. But anyways, come our main event, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and I have to say, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, I think honestly this is one of the best steel cage matches I've ever witnessed in my life.
Bar none.
Yes,
Absolutely.
both of these men beat the absolute brakes off of each other. I know Ryan's going to say something.
And then he beat him to the point where Seth doesn't even use frickin' anymore in his name anymore. Now.
Yeah. Yep. Seth, there was a point where Seth had beat the brakes off of Punk, walked to the door, asked him to open it, and said, "Come on, walk out like you always do."
So good.
And then Punk gave the fucking middle finger, and then Punk returned the favor, walked to the corner, and said, "Go ahead, walk out." And Seth didn't. Seth gave him the finger, and they ended up brawling to the top of the cage. And Punk received a fucking massive superplex, beautiful superplex,
Wonderful.
and wonderful.
Yeah.
They both of the men delivered each other's finishing moves. Both of the men got their own finishing moves out there, and Rollins was up against the fucking thing after he had hit the stomp on Punk, and the cage opened up, and here comes Roman. Roman pulled Rollins out of the ring, which gave him the win, and then he beat the dog shit out of Seth. Like, look, man, it's been a long
really nice stomp on him too.
it has been a long time since I've seen Roman do some shit like that, and like that was awesome. See, and then he hit him with a stomp, and the camera flashed to the ring, and Paul Heyman's in the ring checking on Punk, and Roman goes in there and beats the shit out of Punk. And Paul is just like appalled, like freaking out. So we've talked about this, and this is going to lead to a triple threat. And I don't care who wins. I want to see a good fucking match.
We will.
I'm okay with it.
Unpopular opinion. I think Punk should go over.
Mm-hmm. I feel that way too. Because
it ain't gonna be Seth. It ain't gonna be Seth. That's for sure. Yeah, it's gonna either. Yeah, Punk probably wins this one.
But Raw was awesome, especially that cage match. That cage match was fucking great. Probably my favorite cage match I've ever witnessed.
And you know what it didn't need? 5 buckets of blood.
Exactly.
That's right.
Nobody's bled.
And it didn't need a Spanish fly off the top to not finish a match.
Right. Yes. But anyways, that was Monday Night Raw. I'm gonna let Chris and JR take over for NXT, and I will see you when we get to Smackdown. Smacketh down.
Man, NXT and MSG was phenomenal. No pun intended, of course.
Absolutely, yes. It was wonderful.
Wonderful. So the very first match we started out with was the Hardy Boys against Fraxium for the TNA World Tag Team Championships. Listen, man, I have had some very harsh opinions on the Hardys for the last 5 years because of AEW, and obviously you know my opinion about AEW. Don't need to get into that. And also Matt's wife just makes that whole situation even worse. I have been massively impressed with both men since they came back to TNA. Their match with the Rascals really had me reinvested into them, what they're doing. But this match, man, listening to MSG just go crazy for them was so heartwarming, because I feel that even when they were in AEW and whatever they were doing as tag teams, they didn't quite get that pop. They didn't quite get that the greatest tag team of all time reaction. I always felt like they had to put Jeff in a really highly dangerous match, which TNA did that last night, and was not happy about what I saw. But I didn't like how Jeff was treated when he was over there, just as a crash test dummy for people. I'm not crazy about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But this match with Fraxium, man, was probably one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a very long time. Fraxium, we know how fucking incredible both guys are. But, man, holy shit. Axiom shines so bright, and Nathan Frazier just continues to impress. Which I can't wait to talk about Axiom when we get to SmackDown because, my God. Hardy Boys walked away with the win. No shame in losing to the greatest tag team.
No, that's the right winner. No problem with that. Yep.
That puts them in contendership for the NXT championships.
Exactly.
So
we have a round two. That's no problem.
So I'm assuming that's going to lead to Stand and Deliver, which Fraxium and Hardy's 2. I'm all for it.
I'm all for it as well. No problem. Yeah.
Then we had Jada Parker talking backstage with Mickie James, saying that she's got the winner of Julia and Stephanie. Mickie says that Jada has to make her own opportunity, and Parker doesn't play and makes zero apologies for it. Mickie believes that Jada belongs at the top, and it's Stand and Deliver season. So looks like Jada's going to be next in line, which I don't know if the NXT faithful is going to be able to handle that much ass in the ring.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I know. I mean, we always thought
Stephanie and Jada might break the internet.
Yeah, oh my goodness! And I remember. I thought I remembered this. Wasn't she in trouble again, Jada? Okay, no, it's too late. That's it. Yeah,
golly. Then we had the family segment backstage. Basically, they're gonna have the family against Brooks Jensen, Nico Vance, and Izzy against Stax and Luca and Rizzo. So it looks like we're on the course of breaking apart the family. Long overdue, in my opinion.
Someone's gonna get whacked. Yeah.
I want to see them do more with Rizzo because I feel like she's just kind of been sidelined for so long.
Mm-hmm. See how she does next week. Well, this week, I should say.
Next up, we had Jordan Grace against Roxanne Perez. I thought this was a pretty solid match for the most part.
Yeah.
Great back and forth. I think there was a part of that match where I don't know if she was selling or if she actually slipped. I'm pretty sure she was selling that knee when she slipped on the rope. But goddamn, Roxanne is just way too good at what she does. Hopefully she'll get called up now for good and not have any more NXT matches because I don't think she needs them.
No.
Then we had, in my opinion, one of the most special moments in any talent's life is whenever they meet a legend that endorses them. We had Mark Calloway, a.k.a. The Undertaker, endorse Oba Femi and said that it's your yard and you have to defend it, and gives him a fist bump. And holy shit, man.
If there's someone that does side by side, it almost looked like when John Cena did his debut and then he had that handshake with him. It's almost like that. It's like side by side. He's
so good.
That's a huge endorsement for Oba there. Yeah.
Then we had the Trick Williams and Eddie Thorpe video package setting up for this coming Tuesday. We'll get into that segment when it happens. Then we had Oba Femi and Moose for the NXT Championship. Yo, shout out to Moose, man.
Yes.
There is zero fucking reason that man should move the way that he does. But let's talk about Oba and how that man is not human.
Yeah. Oh,
this man military pressed over his head a 300-pound man and threw him like a child, bro. Oba just continues to impress me. I think there's no fucking way that he comes on the main roster and doesn't become a champion. No way.
No, he is gonna be. Yeah.
But I think this is one of the best matches on the card. I think Moose deserves a shout out, even if he's not the best human being. I think he's exceptional wrestler.
I think we're at that path now with both him and Tessa. Now we can look past what they're do personally and respect because they're not they didn't murder someone or anything like that, at least, you know. So in this case here, so like a certain individual. So but yeah, Moose is great. He's great in the ring. He's soft spoken in this case here, and then yeah, it's a good talent.
And apparently he got a nice endorsement from Taker too. So shout out to Moose.
He did. Yeah. Good for him. And he respects the business as well. So that's the most important. So
yeah. Next up, we had Sol Ruca and Zarya training package getting ready for Sol versus Chelsea Green for the United States Championship. I'm really glad they're starting to show that Zarya is, much more than just a monstrous human being in that ring.
Yeah.
It's great to see her break out of that comfort of just putting on a bunch of makeup and decimating people. Yeah. And if there's somebody who could get that out of her, it was 100% Sol Ruca.
Yeah. This is basically, I just thought of it now. This is kind of like RVD and Kane almost. Sort of.
Almost, yeah. I can see that.
The chilled Sol Ruca and then, the very powerhouse Zarya there.
That's a pretty good comparison.
Yeah. I just thought of it now. Yeah.
Then we had Fallon Henley approach Ava, saying that she's tired of Ava ducking her. She wants a rematch. And then Ricky comes out and joins the conversation. And JC says that Ricky doesn't belong here. And Ricky is going to face Ridge Holland. Ethan Page comes out, says NXT doesn't like outsiders. Fucking brilliant. So good. Next up, and in my opinion, I think this might have been match of the night, Ethan Page versus Javon Evans. God damn, bro. Javon Evans, the way that man moves in the ring is second to none, one of the most impressive things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And It seems like he's put on a little bit of muscle, like we were talking about a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think he literally has muscle, an extra bit of muscle. Good for him, man. He wants to be in the business for a while. Yeah, absolutely.
And then shout out to Ethan Page, man, because there is nobody on the roster like Ethan Page right now. He is just so good at what he does. But we had a great back and forth between those two, and we had a sick ass cutter finish from Javon Evans. I think that might have been one of the craziest finishes I've seen in a minute.
So it ended the match. It wasn't a near fall with that one, right?
Correct.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay.
Then we had a vignette with Sean Spears talking about him becoming the champion and talking about all the wrestlers that are in his stable now, and they call themselves the Culling. So,
very good name.
Very solid name. I think Sean Spears is a great storyteller, so I'm looking forward to seeing if they can make this succeed. I forgot to mention one thing. After Javon won the match, he got attacked by the new stable. So interested to see what they do with this stable, because so far it's just been attacks.
Yeah, right now. It's been kind of one-sided at the moment here, yeah.
Then we had Sarah Schreiber interview Mr. Ancestors himself, Eddie Thorpe.
Just get to the
crowd would not let him talk. He couldn't even get his stupid ass little Knicks insult in there. And Trick Williams just comes out and beats the ever-loving dog shit out of him. So that was great.
Yeah, good. I hope he freaking knocks his ass out next week. Jeez.
Then we had the main event. In my opinion, was one of the best women's matches that we've seen, because counter for counter, bar for bar, bell to bell, Julia and Stephanie have the best chemistry I think I've ever seen out of two women in my life.
Yep, and Booker T got a double your pleasure with that leg move there. Someone pointed it out there in the crowd when he goes, yeah.
And I got the perfect photo for my cover photo on Twitter.
Yes, there you go.
2 seconds.
Yep. The The human centipede. No, never mind. Anyways,
Hey, yo.
yeah, yo, okay. Shit.
There was a spot of that match that I think my jaw just went completely on the ground, and that was when Stephanie went to go for that spinal tap, and Julia catches her ass into a fucking submission. I'm like, bro,
wow.
People need to stop sleeping on Julia. Like, I am so tired of the disrespect.
I don't care about that. Yeah, but Julia really, they both stepped it up there for this main event. Absolutely. I was surprised they only got about 10 minutes or so. In this case here.
I wish it was a little bit longer, but I think I understand why, if those injury rumors are true. I'm not going to entertain it until I hear it from her mouth.
Exactly.
But it's seeming like that might have been the case. But Stephanie going over seems to be the right choice because she is over. And very deserving of that opportunity because how she was treated post AEW before going to WWE. And just kind of people dragging her name through the mud just like they did to Julia. Stephanie is now a double champion. And we're going to see twice the amount of bakery title matches. Title matches, and it seems Jada is going to be one of the first to go after Stephanie. So I'm all for it.
Viewer discretion advised.
You got to reinforce the ring for that much ass, man. But yeah, NXT was really good rating. We curb stomped, pun intended, AEW this week again. So really good show. Sean, if you ever get a chance to go back and watch it, man, please do, because I think like beginning to end, there are no misses on that entire card.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm over here fat boying it up, eating tagalongs from Girl Scout cookies.
Good.
That's good stuff there.
Hey, look, if you want Girl Scout cookies, you let me know during Girl Scout cookie season, and I'll send you a link.
All right.
I was gonna say, I was hoping you weren't gonna say you were gonna send it over. I'm like, bro, that'll be melted before it gets here.
No. But Girl Scouts do send their cookies out through postage services now. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, I got like 8 boxes of Girl Scout cookies, man. Nice. This is not good for my health. All right. Anyways, JR, would you like to cover Smackdown?
Absolutely. Desde España, from Barcelona, Spain, in the Olympic Arena. That's the name of the arena there. We started off with LA Knight. Yeah. New U.S. champion there, basically saying, the title's back in his hands. He gets interrupted by Jim Uso to start off, basically saying his road to WrestleMania is to challenge him. But then Solo Sikoa comes out and basically says, you know who deserves a title shot? My boy Jacob Fatu. And then he basically calls Jimmy the failure. We kind of fumbled his line there, saying you're the failure of the family there to Jimmy Uso. And then they just go back and forth. And then there was all that happened. And then Braun Strowman came out to help the faces out, which led to our first match here, a 6-man tag between the Timu Bloodline and LA Knight, Jimmy Uso, and Braun Strowman. Good solid 6-man tag to get the crowd going. I have no problem. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. Let's just say it was okay.
I'd probably give it a solid 5.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, not too bad. It was that was case.
Stars
here.
No. 5 out of 10.
Out of 10. Out of 10. Yeah, that's fine. That's a fair assessment there. Yeah, but Tama Tonga gets pinned by Braun Strowman once again with a power slam, and then Jacob Fatu attacks Strowman with 3 moonsaults, and then freaking colliding him down the freaking barricade there. Yeah,
there is no fucking reason that Jacob has that much goddamn energy.
I know.
It is
crazy,
absolutely insane to me.
280 pounds of energy. That's insane.
And this man takes 280 pounds and triple moonsaults this motherfucker.
Yeah, he did.
It's nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
We love him, man. Yeah, good stuff there from Jacob. So they're gonna have another match between them next week in Bologna, Italy. Molto bene. Looking forward to that. We then had a segment here with Jade Cargill with Kathy Kelly in the AEW arena. Sorry, the arena at the where they were at there. Basic, yeah.
Jesus.
Thank you. Someone caught that. Thank you. Basically, Jade says, she was physically okay. She's emotionally, a wreck. They were interrupted by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who were just walking around, minding their own business, and that build a match next week for Liv Morgan versus Jade Cargill. So, interesting first match for Jade Cargill to have against Liv Morgan of all people. So, I'm
if there's
intrigued.
anybody who will make Jade look good, it's Liv.
Liv, yeah. This will be interesting. That'll be interesting for Jade.
Now here's the question: Do you have Naomi fuck over Jade and have her lose?
Yes, I think so. I mean, in this case, if you're building the story with Naomi and Jade to have a one-on-one match, you have to have Jade lose to Liv in this case here, in a dirty fashion, of course. Yeah.
Or post-match beatdown.
The only problem I have with that is Naomi's not that big.
Yeah, or just have her disqualify Jade Cargill or whatever. Like, disqualify Liv from Jade. So you don't pin Liv, and then you just make Jade still look strong in this case here. So, yeah. I don't think you can really go wrong with the result here, to be honest, because if you want to progress with Naomi, you want to kind of have her involved there, but we shall see. We shall see with that match there. Speaking of making someone look good, we had our second match here, Charlotte Flair versus B-Fab. Can I just give a shout out to B-Fab for this matchup here? And her promo was outstanding as well.
It was great
for the match, and Chris, you were right. Sounds like she is part Spanish, so obviously she knows how to speak the language there.
I believe she is Barcelonian.
Barcelonian. Gotcha. But here's the thing I love about Charlotte. She always wants to make the other person look good in this case here, because this could have easily been a 2-minute matchup in this case.
And here's my thing about that too, man. Like,
yeah,
I can understand the perspective of Charlotte being thrusted into everything that she's gotten because of her name. Mm-hmm. I get that argument. Yeah. Totally get it.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But to sit there and pretend like she is not one of the greatest, if not top 3 greatest women's talent of all time is just fucking insane to me.
And she's one of the most unselfish as well. She always wants to make the other person look good in this case here, whether it's Rhea Ripley, whether it's Becky Lynch, whether, even someone like B-Fab. Like I said, this didn't have to be a 5-7 minute match. This literally could have been a 2-minute match with Charlotte winning. No, she wanted to make B-Fab get her offense in, get her reps in, and she looked good doing it and all that. And then, of course, Charlotte Flair gets the win, of course, but B-Fab looked good regardless, which then led to Tiffany Stratton coming out, this champ there, and they literally brawled throughout the next 20 minutes or so throughout the ringside there. Tiffany did a couple of dives there, which I kind of find it funny. She dove onto the security guards and not Charlotte herself.
I have a theory on why she did that. I think it's because of Charlotte's legs. I don't think they want to chance her getting hurt.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. That's a really good point. Okay, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because that knee brace is very noticeable there. So, yeah, that does make 100% sense. But, yeah, it's a good, and if you weren't invested in this brawl between this rivalry between Charlotte and Tiffany, you are now, especially with their Twitter little battle there earlier today.
They're back and forth on social media. It's pretty great.
It's very good. Yeah, very good. Team move, Charlotte. I love that. And then we had Drew McIntyre with a promo here. Let me get my Scottish impersonation here. Oh, very, solid. But for the longest time, I was so focused on the individuals that were in front of me. And then I realized that somebody was benefiting every time I got screwed. April 7th, 2024, WrestleMania 40. Drew McIntyre defeats Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. A moment for years in the making. A moment that was absolutely perfect until it wasn't. I was halted from behind, and David Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, robbing me of the moment. But it doesn't end there, does it? No. June 15th, Clash of Castle in my home country. A moment more perfect than perfect. And it wasn't. Once again, screwed once again, and that vulture picks up the bones once again. Fast forward 1 month. It's time to fight fire with fire. Money in the bank. I win the Money in the Bank contract. I cash in. I get screwed once again. And that parasite, that leech priest was there to capitalize. Even when you lost the title, you didn't know how to succeed unless it was off my back. Which brings us to the Royal Rumble. As soon as my back was turned, eliminated, thanks to Priest. And then Elimination Chamber, my last chance to win the title. I claim more John Cena. I'm about to pin the man that won the chat match. And then Priest, you can't help yourself. You stole it from behind. So I dropped your ass. So if you wanted my attention, you've got it. This is not about the World Championships. You're taking that away from me twice. This is about putting you down for good. So you can never take anything away from me again. See?
Yeah.
And they said that there's no story. There's the layers, buddy.
I said it last night. I said they found a way to fucking sell me on that feud.
There you go. Exactly. So we then had Miz TV with Cody Rhodes as special guest. But before the Miz could even get anything started, we had the brawl again, as mentioned, with the dive from Tiffany. He then brought out Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes literally just kicked Miz in the gut and did the drop down uppercut before nailing across Rhodes. And he basically said, I don't want to talk to Miz. I don't want to talk to anybody unless his name is John Cena. If you can find it worth your time to join us, John, on the road to WrestleMania next Monday, just know I'll be there too. So nice and short there with Miz and Cody. We then had Nick Aldis admonishing Shinsuke Nakamura for blinding the referee with red mist last week. Nakamura says he just wants a championship rematch. He says that Nakamura is lucky he's not suspended right now. And then, your favorite, Damian Priest, joins the conversation. He wants to know where Drew McIntyre is. But he told him that Drew left the building, and Priest can take that information however he wants. Priest says that not only Drew is a jackass, but he's a smart one as well. Nakamura then talks smack. And then that led to a match between Damian Priest and Shinsuke Nakamura. It's okay. So not the best of the matches between the two here. But it does end with Drew McIntyre coming out. He nails Damian Priest with a Claymore. And then Shinsuke Nakamura hits him with a Kinshasa. And McIntyre says, I'm going to make your life a living hell. So Damian Priest wins by disqualification over Shinsuke. We then had Kathy Kelly having a backstage interview.
Before you go to this next segment, I forgot to mention that disgusting curb stomp that Drew did to Damian.
Oh, yes, at the end.
Bro,
yes.
I showed my buddy Mikey that. I said, dog, he got him with the heel of his foot. Like, that looked really good.
As a personal one there. So that's why. And then he said he'll make Priest his life a living hell there. So we then had Kathy Kelly backstage interview with DIY. Chapman makes the claim that there's a reason why SmackDown is the best tag team division in all of professional wrestling, and Gargano calls the Street Profits a second place team. Just not good enough. We want the smoke. It's more likely choke in big title matches. And then the Motor City Machine Guns comes in. He basically says that they got next for whoever wins their matchup, and that ended that interview there. We then had Kathy Kelly speaking with Secret Service for Chelsea Green there, who basically introduced her secret weapon in Alba Fire. And then Zelina Vega basically then points out and says, I got next for Chelsea. So we're going to have a little Chelsea versus Zelina at some point. As soon as this match between her and Piper Niven happens, which will happen next week in Bologna, Italy. We then have our fourth match of the night, which was Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes, and good on the crowd for singing voices once again. Love it there. The chemistry between Randy Orton and Carmelo Hayes is pretty apparent there. Great stuff between the two.
You know what it
there.
reminded me of? It reminded me of RVD and a really young Randy Orton.
Yes, I agree there. Yeah, good stuff between the two there. Orton gets the RKO on Hayes there for the win, of course. And then he was trying to, encourage Hayes there. Hayes pushes him and then gives him a vicious RKO a second time. And then he was about to go for a punt on Carmelo Hayes, but then Kevin Owens comes out pulls out Carmelo Hayes from uncertainty there, and they brawl to finish there. So the rivalry continues between Owens and Orton. So looking forward to
I think there is a really cool element in this story where now you're teasing the return of the punt kick, and I think this is the best way to go about it the way that they did it. I mentioned it last week when they did it at the Elimination Chamber when he went to go for the punt kick and that visual of all of those people jumping on Randy, stopping him.
Yeah.
And then this week it was KO pulling them out.
Pulling Mello. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And then we get the first of two vignettes here. It was a orange background with a masked wrestler with tattoos on his hand. We all know for certain it is Rey Fenix, who is gonna be on Friday Night Smackdown for the foreseeable future there. And yes, and then I mentioned it. It's a great way. I'm glad that they're not pairing them up right away. Let Rey Fenix shine on his own. Let him show what Tony Khan fumbled again. Sorry. So how much vitality is. So let's
Here's
see.
My question. Do you think that Phoenix can get out of his own way to learn WWE style? Because the only reason I asked that is because I was very critical of him in AEW because of his style. Not saying he's not talented. We both know the Lucha Brothers are insanely talented. Yeah. But Phoenix works so indie. It's almost like, and I don't mean this in a racial way, so if it comes out that way, I apologize. It's like a Mexican Johnny Gargano. And
that's not really racist. No, that's fine. Yeah.
I just know people when they hear like a nationality in front of an explanation, it sounds some type of way. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, no, it's not racist. No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay.
But I worry about how he's going to look against talents.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, especially when you think about who's backstage there for SmackDown, you got Orton, you've got Gargano already there, you've got you've got Cody there too. So you've got talent there that he could talk to and at least get the feel of how he can adjust his style to the WWE standard. So then that way he's not to a point where he can still do his stuff, but he can do it in a way where he'll have longevity in his career in WWE rather he stayed, in certain spots.
And he won't have a jackass dressed up like a dinosaur hurting him either, so he's okay.
Oh God, I still think about that arm break there, man. Oh my God. Oh man, and they had to change the finish on the fly, and then old Jack Perry there had to win the title. Great, that's a wonderful sight there. We then had Solo Sikoa telling Jacob Fatu that Braun Strowman is on his level, and Jacob says, "A little dog walked the wings" to Braun Strowman there. So, look forward to that match there for, like I said. And then we had the second promo of the evening. The second vignette of the evening with a black background, smoke, and the number 4, which obviously it signifies Mr. Aleister Black. And I pointed this to Sean here before we got on here. Chris, do you recall when Aleister Black was doing his storybook readings prior to his release?
Yep.
He was on chapter 4.
It was chapter 4, yep.
Yeah, he was on chapter 4, so you're aware of that. So
it's also been 4 years since he's been gone.
That too, yes. So, SmackDown's getting interesting there with their roster development there. We're getting those two there.
Aleister is going to be an interesting addition. If it is him, not saying it's not. If it is him, it's going to be an interesting addition because, again, we named some of the talent that's on SmackDown. Aleister's a good storyteller. And I just, again, this is just me thinking of the type of talent Aleister is. Will he be able to pair up with somebody on that SmackDown roster and look as good as he did in 2019? Because you look at his run with AEW and the House of Black stuff and whatnot. He was constantly in that stable, right? I don't know. I want to see I want to see something different. I want to see him step outside his comfort zone in terms of character work because he can do it. We know he can do it. I just don't want to see the same old shit. You know what I mean? Like, Alistair's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. He's got
But I don't
Levesque
want
there,
the same
so
shit.
he's got Levesque backing him up. So I'm pretty sure he'll have a chance.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I mean, he has people that he's worked with before, right? Like he's done his first feud in AEW was with Cody, and it was phenomenal. It was a great fucking feud, and you could even call it back. You don't think so? I thought it
Want
was
me to tell
great.
you why?
Why?
Because the Arn Anderson blocking a fucking kick. That's why.
Oh,
And
Okay,
then,
one.
then his terrible little stint there with Goldust, or I'm sorry, Dustin Rhodes.
Well, I'm gonna say the with Cody and just strictly keeping it between Cody and Malachi, Alistair, whatever you want to call him, Tommy, and that feud was great. Now the outside people that had to play in it, they fucked it up for him. But
They
the
fucked up a
matchup
lot with Malachi in his debut, and that's the thing. But on the other hand, on the other side of the coin, Alistair Black was fucking great. The problem with guys like him, guys like Bray, guys like Miro, and all of them is you couldn't gauge reactions with no crowd. And sure, on television, people like you and I and JR and a massive amount of other people, wow, yeah, Malachi's really good at fucking cutting promos. But if there's no fan reaction, nobody gives a shit. So it's like you can cut a good promo and put a bunch of words out there. That doesn't mean you're going to get a reaction.
Very true.
And we've seen that in the past. We've seen some look at Bray. I think Bray is probably the best example of that. This man can cut a goddamn promo about the fall of humanity and the fall of mankind, and it'd be one of the greatest promos we've ever heard. But that casual audience will not give two fucks. And that's a problem.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. There's a lot of time, of course. It's just the first of many, so we shall see how Alistair does. We then had an appearance from the Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, come out here, and I love his promo to Europe here, to Spain here. Let's read it out here. The road to WrestleMania in Europe starts tonight here in Barcelona. And as the greatest European wrestler of all time, I just got to be there. Just one regret. I wish we were in Madrid instead. Hala Madrid! Anyway, the real reason I'm here to prove is to prove a point. Because all of you love Jey Uso. Because he's wasting his time dancing around amongst you, waving his hands like an idiot, just to entertain. But once this bell rings, there's no substance. It doesn't mean a damn thing. So I heard there's a kid. They call him the best wrestler out of Spain. Well, the most promising talent in WWE right now. You all love him, but I'm going to prove right now that this doesn't mean a damn thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your national hero, Axiom. So, yes, we had a special appearance from Spaniard's own Axiom, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, and he got to get his licks in with Gunther there. Great match, a very good match between these two. Between Gunther and Axiom.
So funny thing about that match, this morning when I opened up Instagram, one of the first reels I found was A-Kid versus Gunther when Gunther was a big boy. And I believe he was the NXT champion, or NXT UK champion rather. And A-Kid was just going fucking ham on this man. I'm like, dude, and that's the great thing about Gunther. I don't care how many people say that he's just a chop merchant or whatever else bullshit they want to say on social media about Gunther. In my honest opinion, I agree with him in every sense of the word, saying he is the greatest European wrestler we have ever seen in WWE. I will put that over Cesaro. I will put that over fucking anybody else you can name. I will put Gunther over them.
Of course.
Mhm.
I mean, there's no debate on that. Just you can give any European name there. Although Ludwig Kaiser, he may get there. Especially with this push there.
If
So
WWE lets him get there, that's the
of
problem.
course, that's true. That's a true point there. But yeah, good match there. Gunther gets the pinfall after he gets all his 700 finishers against Axiom, which he didn't really have to. But Gunther, he's vicious and all that. So
It's so funny.
uh,
Julian posted. He posted on Twitter after that match. He's like, "Man, Axiom did so good, but Gunther doesn't fight fair. He just hit him with 5 finishers in a row."
yeah, it's like that. It's like that guy who has like 5 finishers stored in his like 2K thing. He
Yep,
just literally spams it.
that's Gunther as a wrestler.
That's basically what he does all the time, which is great. No, I love it. I love it. It just basically shows that Gunther has to put him down, so he has to just put all the arsenal there. We then get a recap of the Roman Reigns attack on Seth Rollins and CM Punk from the Steel Cage match, and then Paul Heyman is actually in Barcelona. So let me see if have I ever done a Paul Heyman impersonation. Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And tonight, I am going to hype you on 2 things. And don't worry, much like the career prospects of a certain architect, a visionary, I'll keep this short and sweet. Today, all over the world is officially Roman Reigns Day, because today is the release of WWE 2K25 video game. I'm sure everyone here tonight will go home and play the video game. I'm sure everyone at home is going to play the video game. But please wait till Smackdown is over. We like to keep our ratings high, especially during my segments.
So good.
Item number 2. Apparently, there are some people who have a problem with the fact that it's Roman Reigns Day, or that he's on the cover of the 2K25 video game. One of these people, when it comes to being my friend, is the best in the world, CM Punk. Unfortunately, it's not his day, it's Roman Reigns' day. And it sure as hell is not, nor will it ever be, Seth freaking Rollins' day. With all due respect, I hate that freaking song. Now, if anybody has a problem with the fact that I hate that freaking song, or Roman Reigns, then you can say it straight to the face of your tribal chief in Bologna, Italy. Because next week, your tribal chief will be there. Don't boo. All you have to do is buy a plane ticket on Cheapo Airlines and fly over to Bologna. Next week, when Roman Reigns appears live on SmackDown, you can say anything you want straight to his face. And that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. So, fireworks in Bologna next week, so we shall see. We then get the card for next week from Bologna, which will include Jay Cargill versus Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega against Piper Niven, and Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. So good card there for SmackDown. We then had Legado del Fantasma passively aggressively wishing the Profits good luck in their tag team title match. So obviously it's another me next there for another tag team there. Glad that Santos is still getting some time to at least do some promo work and all that, including himself.
Is it bad that I'm kind of like worried he's going to get cut?
I'm worried too. Yeah, I'm very worried about Santos.
I have that really suspicious feeling that he's next on the chopping block.
We shall see. But hey, they're giving him some promo work, so at least they're giving him something. It's better to be giving you something than sitting and catering for 5 months and then say bye bye, you're done. So, but we then have Gunther talking with Jimmy Uso, and he basically says they have some things that he basically goes, we have something in common. They're both older brothers. Jimmy's more the mature twin, but just like Jey Uso, actually left it all in the ring, but at the end he choked him out and left him laying like a wet towel. So if Jey doesn't decide to step back from his decision to face him at WrestleMania, Gunther's going to do the same thing to him. And then he asks Jimmy if he can help Jey make the right decision. And then Jimmy says, no. The ring general is going to get dropped, and my brother is going to win the championship. Yeet. So nice little promo there. And then we had our main event of DIY versus the Street Profits for the tag team championship. And we never expected this to be a bad match. We know that these four just laid all on the line. We know how good of a performer DIY is. We know how improved Angelo Dawkins is. How good he looks. Montez Ford is just a freaking animal, of course, in this case here. But yeah, good back and forth between these four. It ended actually with so DIY was going to be meeting in the middle, but then Gargano accidentally kicks Ciampa. Dawkins gets the spine buster and then tags him forward for that very from the heavens frog splash. And then 1, 2, 3, we've got new tag team champions, long overdue. So congratulations to the Street Profits on becoming the new WWE tag team champions.
We got the first Triple H and Street Profits main roster photo together.
That's right. Yes, finally. Yes,
that's crazy.
Yeah. No, didn't they do it when they won the Raw title? They did? Okay. Well, there you go.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Good for them. But good for them. Yes. Finally, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins gets a title after 4 years. So good for them.
Hell yeah.
That was Smackdown from Bologna, Italy. From Barcelona, Spain. Next week is Bologna.
Yeah. So I want to talk about 2K25. I've had it for about a week. Not to hype it up or anything, but the soundtrack this year is fucking phenomenal. It's top tier. I don't think that there's a song in there I don't enjoy. We got the likes of, if you like metal, Knocked Loose and Poppy. We've got Spirit Box, or the House of Protection. Also got some Gojira. If you like Gojira, dude, phenomenal. We got Baby Metal with Electric Callboy.
Yeah, buddy.
And Architects. And that song goes ham. The Electric Cowboy and Baby Metal.
Baby Metal is great, man. You know what's crazy is they were another group that got shit on for a very long time.
Yeah, and even Rob Zombie stood up for them.
Good.
And if you like, more country stuff, we got Jelly Roll. There's a song by Jelly Roll on there, which is really good. And,
is that with Hardy?
No, it's Halfway to Hell by.
Oh, yeah,
Jelly.
That's a great one.
Yeah, it is. And then you have one song that is a Mexican freestyle, and it's decent. I mean, I don't think that there's any song on here. Like, I actually went on Spotify and listened to the whole soundtrack so I could actually hear it without being distracted by the game, and it's pretty good. I've played about an hour every day for the past week, and man, I'll say I'm really enjoying it. I've been playing a lot of My Rise, and the storyline of My Rise, at first I thought it was kind of dookie, right? Because they kind of, and I said, that shows how what of an old head I am. I said dookie, because they brought in the storyline of NXT revolting against WWE, and it didn't make sense. But now, I mean, they added another faction into the group called NWO. You reform NWO. It's weird. Yeah, I know.
No, not laughing at that.
Oh, what are you laughing at? The dookie?
No, so JR sent me a picture of Liv Morgan, and I said, "Oh my God, legs!" And then I said right after, I said, "Bust wide open."
Jesus Christ! And then I have been playing a lot of my faction, and my faction's awesome, right? Because they have the weekly towers. I've already beat the weekly towers that they had out, and the progression in weekly towers is super easy as long as you have the right card set up. And they also have a faction wars world where you can go into different areas that are really prominent. Like, you start out in Atlanta and you wrestle in Atlanta, or no, Florida. You wrestle in Florida with your deck. And then once you beat all those, you can unlock like Philadelphia. And so like all those matches are stipulation matches. And then you can go like Dallas and California, but you have to unlock them by playing the game. And so once you hit a certain phase in the game, you're able to unlock the next either phase of the story or another city. And so it's been really fun, a whole lot of fun. I've collected enough cards to have a decent deck. I just don't like the triple threat or the fatal 4-way matches. Overall, I started playing the Bloodline story mode that they have, and you start off at WrestleMania 40, and you run through all the different faces. So like when Cody spears, or when Cody gets speared by Solo and Roman, you end up playing as John Cena, and then you play as the Undertaker, and then they close the match out. And then your next match is Yokozuna versus Brother at WrestleMania. And so Paul Heyman does a great job in the storytelling, as always.
The showcase.
Showcase. So I haven't really messed with my GM yet. I haven't really messed too much in Universe, but Universe is...
You know what's crazy? I think as much as we all begged for my GM to come back, I still don't think it's better than SmackDown versus Raw.
No, because that was the first one. No, because that was the first one. That was the first, my GM that came and was here. So you can't top that. But I'm really enjoying the game. I think it's really fun. I'm like I said, I try to play at least an hour a day to progress a little bit further. And so dude, it's awesome. It's pretty awesome. But before we wrap up, Chris, what are you excited for this week?
I'm excited for Cena and Cody. I think that has my full and undivided attention over anything else. I'm very curious. God damn it, JR.
Sorry.
I think Cena and Cody, I think, is going to be absolutely legendary. I'm excited to see what happens with the CM Punk and Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins story.
Mm-hmm.
I got a podcast with a therapist on Tuesday.
Okay.
And the podcast that I was on comes out on the 20th. So a lot of things going on, man. I'm excited to see NXT. Not excited to see it back in the fucking PC, but just excited to see what goes on this week. Got a lot of really good wrestling. And Evolve has been great too. I'm really happy for Evolve.
Nice. JR, what about you? What are you excited for this week?
I'm curious to see how the Cena theme sounds from Travis Scott when he comes out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of theme comes out for Cena there. The European crowds have been great, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the crowd reacts there.
Bro, they are going to boo the ever living shit out of John Cena.
Oh my god!
It might top Dominic Mysterio.
In Brussels, man. The Jean-Claude Van Damme there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting there. Some good action there. I'm looking forward to Trick Williams being the dog shit that he's hopefully this week on the Underground. So looking forward to that there. Got a couple of days off next week because this week is kind of a very personal to me. I shared this with Chris. I'll share this with Yvonne as well. I'll do it in private, but Chris knows what's going on tomorrow. Hence why we're doing this today here. So I'm just I was gonna take the whole week off, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take 2 or 3 days off at least, just to still working for the most part and run off it. So, I'm looking forward to this upcoming week here and the continuing road to WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Whatever it is, man, make sure you're taking care of yourself. All right. That's important.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this week, man, I gotta get my car serviced. I gotta get a fucking oil change on Wednesday, and then Thursday, I got an intake for a new counselor at a veteran center here, so that's going to be good. And yeah, tonight I'm going to do board game night at a neighbor's house. Pretty good friend of mine. He comes over and watches the pay-per-views with me. He's a huge wrestling fan. We met because we take the kids to the bus stop every morning, and I was wearing a Seth Rollins shirt, and he was like, "You like wrestling?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I found out that he actually used to live in Baltimore, around where they would do the Ring of Honor tapings, and he would go to every single one of them.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so him and I have become really good friends over wrestling once again. And so we're doing board game night tonight at his house. But yeah, I'm excited about Raw being in Bologna and not Bologna, sorry, in Brussels. Yeah, in Brussels, and seeing what they do with Cody and Cena. I want to see some kind of interaction with R-Truth. And just because,
here's my thing about that, though. I want it to be backstage and not in the ring.
Yeah.
Because, and this is no disrespect to R-Truth, because I've said I don't hate the guy. I do not want any sort of comedy bullshit in that ring. Nothing.
No, I mean, if they do it in the ring, I would like to see Cena come out, and then R-Truth comes out and says, "What you broke my heart," blah blah blah,
and then
Cena just goes ham. Yeah. Cena goes ham. If that's the case, I don't know. But anyways, I'm excited to see what they do there. I'm excited to see Roman and Seth and CM Punk, that interaction. That's going to be fucking great.
I'm glad they're doing it on SmackDown.
Yes.
Yeah, and then Barcelona. I'm just really excited about Barcelona. Like JR and Chris said, the crowds have been hot. The crowds have been on fire. That's typically what we see out of the European crowds. Is they're a lot more raucous than American crowds. So really excited about that. But it's going to be great. And yeah, so before we go, I want to thank Ryan for being here and commenting, Michelle and Kyle. I'm Michelle and everybody that checked out on Instagram. I know some of the comments weren't flowing through, so I tried to type them over there and send them over here. But we're going to be on Instagram as well, streaming on Instagram. So absolutely, thank you for being here. Thank you for interacting with us. We love you. Be good. Have a good week. Deuces.
Yeah, let's see how you do under pressure.